I'm Madeline.
And I'm Deja.
And welcome back to the Elegance Exchange. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the elegance of love. Alright, so you guys kind of have the best of both worlds here.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been single my whole entire life, so 19 years. And Deja...
I am currently entering my 4-year relationship mark with my high school sweetheart.
Which is really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys kind of have, a good mix here.
Exactly.
So I'm going to be talking about, the aspect of self-love and, being okay with being single.
Mm-hmm.
And then Deja is going to give us some relationship tips and advice.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess starting out with the self-love aspect, okay? So I want to note something here because I feel like if you are like me and you've been single your whole life, you might be dealing with the same thing that I am. So I am what I would consider hyper-independent, okay? Now, this is not diagnosed. This is just me, thinking. But, so hyper-independence is, I'm actually going to read you the definition because I cannot sum it up to save my life. So it's a coping mechanism that involves being extremely self-reliant and avoiding asking help from others. So you have, trouble when you want to take on all the responsibility, okay? You want to just be your own person. You don't want to rely on anybody else. You don't kind of have an issue trusting other people.
You just want to do everything yourself. You want full control over it.
And so I think part of me, that's the reason probably why I haven't dated anybody. Because I am so secure in myself. Now, granted, I don't think being hyper-independent is, the best.
The best route to go.
No, it's definitely not. There's a difference between being hyper-independent and independent. We'll touch on that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I am overly secure in myself at the fact that I will not, if somebody approaches me and they're like, oh, will you date me or whatever, or, go out with me, sorry. If you don't quite literally bring, absolutely everything to the table, I'm not going to date you. And even if you do, I'm probably still not going to date you unless I really like you. Because I like doing everything on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I like being my own person. And it scares me, having somebody else to, that I have to let in. And that I have to let help me.
Yeah.
Okay? And obviously a relationship is not one-sided.
Mm-mm.
So I was thinking about it the other day and I was like, okay, well, if I love taking care of people, okay, that's just my nature.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be your mother, let's put it that way.
Right.
But I love taking care of people. And so I was thinking, okay, if I was dating somebody and they wanted to take care of me and roles were reversed, I would, it would be... I don't know how to word it, but...
you'd want them to help you as much as you
well,
help them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they didn't want me to help them, I think I would be like, oh, what's going on?
Why?
Yeah, exactly. So if roles were reversed, I could see how that could be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so that takes a little bit of recognition on your part. So the difference between being hyper-independent and being independent is being independent, you're totally fine being single, but you're not afraid of a relationship or you're not afraid of that commitment. And everybody's a little different if you're hyper-independent. I'm not saying, it's all one size fits all. But being independent is a little bit different, okay? So being independent means that you can just be totally happy. And I think there's a fine line between them.
Yes.
But, you have to let other people in, okay?
It's okay to be independent and still ask for help.
Absolutely.
You don't have to do every single thing yourself when you know that you're struggling.
And it's okay to be independent and still want to date somebody, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That is totally fine.
It
Honestly,
is.
That's healthier than what I'm dealing with.
If anything, your partner should respect, some...
Exactly. But I think, the best way of really pulling into your single era, I guess. I hate that word, but we're going to call it that.
Your self-love era.
Era was the word that I... But, yeah, your self-love era, whatever, your single era. Era. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's 6 o'clock at night. My brain's dead. But really pulling into that, take yourself out on solo dates.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I go to a coffee shop and a bookstore all the time and I just, chill and sit by myself and read my book. Or, You know, go to the park, be alone, go to the beach.
Right.
You know, just really romanticize being single.
I like to go to the farmer's market. Like, I love going to the farmer's market. I love people watching. I like looking at the fun stuff that all the vendors have. And then I even like just like getting a coffee, like a nice, like my favorite drink, and I just sit outside and just watch.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it this way. Okay, I was listening to somebody talk the other day, and they were talking about the fact that women who are married and women who have kids, quite literally, their vacation is what you are doing right now. Their vacation is going to a hotel room and just being alone and just having time to chill, or just going to the store, even the grocery store. Like, moms will go to the grocery store without their kids or husbands to escape. You are in, you know, a prime time of your life, even if you are single, you know, and really just romanticize that, really feel it, live in the present. Because at the end of the day, love will come to you. And you shouldn't have to sacrifice, you know, your standards for love coming to you. So don't think, you know, because I'm quite literally one of the pickiest people out there.
She definitely is.
You can ask Daisha.
She definitely is.
Very picky. Like, unless I already like you, it's probably, you know. But you shouldn't have to compromise your standards just because other people tell you that, oh, well, you're never going to find what you want. You will. It might take a little bit because you might not be ready to meet them yet. You might still have to, you know, just become a little bit more emotionally mindful, or you might have to go through some things in order to be ready to meet that person. But at the end of the day, love is going to come to you. Okay.
And I like to think, like, the best people that enter my life are the ones that I least expect them to.
Right.
And so, like, I think that makes it more exciting, like something to look forward to in the future. And yeah, I just, you know, love is going to take time. The perfect person's not going to walk into your life tomorrow and be like, oh, I'm here for you, Madeline. Like, like, love me. Like, it's not going to be that fast.
Just enjoy your singleness. You know, you can go out and you can go to a party, or you can, you know, go on some dating apps. You can go on a date. You know, you don't have anybody else holding you down. Now, I mean, don't be a, you know, mean person about it, but just realize that you are in a prime time of your life. You know, embrace it. Don't live in the future. Don't be like, oh, well, you know, if I had this man or this woman or whatever, then I would be happy. No. Live in the present. You are happy with who you are. You don't need somebody else.
And I think people don't want to, like, understand that with relationships, like, it comes, like, there's more stuff to add to, like, your mental state. Because, like, a relationship can be mentally exhausting.
Absolutely.
And, like, my sister, she was telling me, like, she was glad that she's not in a relationship because all her friends will be in relationships. And she'll see, like, how stressed they are about their boyfriends, and she'll be like, yeah, I'm so glad I'm single.
That's actually such a funny point.
I'm so glad I'm single.
No, because everybody in our friend group, every single one of my friends, and it's so funny, every single one. I don't think there's one that is not dating somebody. And it's so funny because I hear all the drama from all the different sides, and I'm like, oh, so, like, okay, what am I really, you know, not missing out on anything, per se. But I am, but I'm not. You're not, it's gonna come to you, okay? But, I mean, also know that finding compromise in relationships is important.
I think my biggest piece of advice, I know you've probably already heard it 80 gazillion times, but, like, communication is key. I cannot stress that enough. Like, when I talk to my boyfriend, we made this rule, like, we never go to bed upset at each other, because
that's so
if you sleep on it and you're still mad you're just gonna wake up
just gonna linger, and then the next day's ruined because you're already mad.
Exactly. Yeah. And so then, like, you kind of, like, have, like, this super bad tension between the both of you, and you can, like, feel it, but then, like, both of you are so stuck up that you don't want to go and solve it. So I feel like that's where it ends up being a really big problem. And so yeah, but I think communication is key. Like, when you get in disagreements with your partner, it should end in compromise. It shouldn't end in more disagreement and more problems than it already started. And so I'm very, very, very big on communication. Like, anytime my friends talk to me and they'll be like, oh, well, this happened, I'll be like, well, did you talk to them? Like, did you see maybe their perspective? Do they know that this is actually happening? Because I feel like that's such a big thing. Half the time we don't even realize what we're doing. Right? Like, do they know, like, that you're upset? Because sometimes I'm
You hide it very well.
I'm guilty of that.
She
like,
does.
I'll be like, no,
She
it's fine.
scares
Like,
me.
it's okay. But then, like, I will be
really upset. Yeah.
but I won't, like, admit it. And I think it's so important to, like, reach out to them and be like, hey, you know, I'm sorry for this, and I was just upset, and yada, yada, yada.
Well, and I think effort's another thing, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they wanted to, they would.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if they're giving you the bare minimum amount of time and effort, then, like, especially if you're putting a lot in, you know, it's just, you don't want that. You want somebody who matches your effort.
Yes, and I get it, like, if you're busy. Like, you both are busy. You both are two separate people with two separate lives. You got, your lives just happen to intertwine with each other. But you can still make some effort. You can compromise when to call. You can say, hey, like, I'm getting off work. Do you want to call at this time? And actually make it at that time to call.
Right.
You don't have to...
Or you said something the other day about how, do you remember what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so you were saying that whenever you call Aiden and he doesn't answer.
Yes. Okay. So, like, with Aiden, like, with my boyfriend and I, we have two completely different schedules. I'm super busy during the day, and he's super busy at night because he works. And so we don't have that time together and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like, I actually got into an argument about it because, you know, it was messing with me. I was like, I never hear from you. I never see you. And we came up to the solution, like, you know, oh, like, I get off work at this times and, like, this time. And so, you know, if you call me and I don't answer, I will call you back when I have time, whenever I have free time. And it's the same way with me. Like, if I call him and he's busy, that's fine. I know that if he wanted to answer, he would. And so he's more likely just busy. Right. So I don't take it to heart. And it's the same thing with me. If he calls me and I'm busy, he knows I'm going to call him back. Because I saw that he called, and I'm going to, you know, call him back again whenever I get the chance. And I think it's very healthy to understand that barrier. Like, you both have two different lives.
Right. So let's talk about some green and red flags. Okay, we'll just, like, hyper roll them out. So green flags. Okay, so like you said, compromise.
Compromise is so big. I'm also gonna go communication.
Communication.
Okay. If you're dating someone that does not communicate how they're feeling or what's bothering them, then you can say goodbye to your whole relationship.
I think finding somebody who can take, like, or somebody who's perfectly fine with no quote-unquote gender roles, okay? So what I mean by that is, you know, if, you know, a man and a woman are dating, okay? If a man is okay with staying at home and watching the kids, you know, that's amazing. Just like it's amazing if a woman can go out and work. And it doesn't matter if one's a man or a woman, you know? And just even, you know, in your relationship wise, like, what would be an example that you could think of? Can you think of anything? I'm trying to
help you with that example. Because I guess we're just saying, like, you know, there's no specific roles for each person.
You know, exactly. Or, you know, the men are known to be a little less, like, lovey-dovey, I guess. That's the stereotype. I don't believe that. But the men are, you know, stereotyped in this kind of way. Yeah. And it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to rely on these stereotypes of, like, oh, the man's doing this or vice versa. Especially if, you know, say, like, two women are dating or two men are dating. You know, even then, you know, you shouldn't have gender roles. Right. You don't want something as stupid as gender roles to vying in your relationship.
Exactly. And I think it also leads to, like, expectation, because then that's like, oh, well, I expect you to, like, to clean the house.
Right, absolutely. No.
Like, what?
What? Babe, I'm not your maid. Like,
exactly. And it's like, well, I expected you to go work all day, but...
Yeah.
So, you know. Exactly. As long as, like, everything that needs to be done is getting done, there shouldn't be a certain, you need to do this because you're this, you know.
Granted, I'm not saying it's not okay to have gender roles, okay? But you have to talk about that with who you're dating. So if, you know, you're dating a woman and she's totally fine with being, like, at home. Right. And the man going to work, then yeah, that's totally fine. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it has to be communicated. It can't just be expected. That's what we're saying.
I know my boyfriend and I joke around a lot. And I'll tell him, like, you know, one day I'm going to make 6 figures.
Right, absolutely.
And he'll be like, well, shoot, if you're going to make 6 figures, I'll make sure the house is clean. I'll make sure like, I'll make sure the bathtub has like rose petals every time you're there.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'll make sure the counter is sparkly. Like,
just
there's no
supporting each other no matter what, as long as, you know, you talk about it and you communicate. And like I said, it doesn't matter who you're dating or if you're dating the same gender or vice versa, you know, just making sure that you communicate about those gender roles. Let's see, what is another green flag?
Loyalty is big.
Yeah, loyalty, okay. And then I think just genuinely being a partner, believing that you're both on the same level no matter what. Nobody's above one another. That's something that my mom preaches to me, because her and my dad had such like a good relationship, and she preaches, you know, she's like, Madeline, honey, if somebody doesn't treat you as their equal, they're not for you. It's a partnership.
Right.
A relationship is, you know, you and your partner. It's not somebody's above the other. Kind of going back to the gender roles, honestly.
And once you find that, like, you find that sense of partnership, like, it really does make a relationship. Like, you feel so at home. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. And I also think, like, very supportive, if anything. Because I know, like if you're gonna love me, how are you not, like, you need to, like, I want you to support my dreams and stuff. Like, I wouldn't want you to use that against
them down, no.
Right?
And okay, so now let's go into red flags. So, I mean, that's a red flag. If they tear down your dreams and your goals, no, they should be lifting you up.
No, exactly. Like, hey, I want to be famous. Okay, well, you can go to throw that one down the toilet.
No, literally what you put out into the world is what you're going to get back. Okay, so if you put out these negative thoughts, or if they put out these negative thoughts like, oh, well, you're never going to make it because you're not good enough, or blah, 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 then yeah, you're not going to make it. Okay?
It really tears you down, because when you love someone that much as like your partner, and you start hearing them being like, oh, well, you can't do it, it really starts to get to you, and you're like, well, maybe I can't do it.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're the person at the end of the day that you come home to and that are supposed to love you, you know? And then I think just being overly jealous and possessive, I think that's a red flag. Literally, I would run away.
Oh my god.
From somebody who's so independent, I would run out the door so fast. And, you know, some people like that. And if you like, you know, a little bit of
the clingier
then that's fine. But if they are literally dictating what you do and who you hang out with, run. Please save yourself.
Or like if you're with your best friends and they're like, oh, well, I don't like your friends because they do this.
No.
What?
Well, unless, you know, you guys do stupid stuff.
Well, yeah.
Then like, that's just your fault. But
if you're going on a shopping spree or something, and he's like, oh, well, I don't like the people
I don't like your
with.
friends or what you talk about, or you know, then no, run, please. Like, don't put yourself through that.
Don't get.
You're better off on your own at that point. Like. No, I mean, just, oh, gosh, no.
I can't even imagine being with someone like that, overly clingy. I think I'd lose my mind. Like,
no,
I would pull my hair out, like,
I'd just be like, alright, sorry, dude, bye. Or,
bye.
Sorry, babe, like, bye. I'm not doing that. No, absolutely.
It's not me, it's you.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, guys. But, I don't know, just recognizing that if they are tearing you down and doing that kind of crap, like, no, run away. And if they don't want to communicate, run away.
Right.
If they don't want to give you the time of day, run away.
I can't even imagine, like, the jealous aspect, too. Like, that is so aggravating.
I'd be like, okay, because this sounds funny, because I was literally talking about how I have trouble, like, trusting others, but once I'm in a relationship with you, I trust you full-heartedly. So, I don't know. I think if somebody got jealous at the fact that, like, somebody walked up to me and was talking to me, I'd be like, sorry, what did you want me to do? Like give them the hand and then walk away? No, I'm not gonna do that.
Right? I'm very big on that. Like, someone will say, like,
you have to trust me.
Exactly. Like, someone will say, like, oh, hey, like, I like your hair. And I'll just be like, well, thank you. Like, you know, it was a compliment.
Thanks for the compliment.
I'm not gonna be snarky and be like, I have a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend. Like, no, you know, that's just gonna make me look bad.
Exactly.
And I think that's what's super healthy about my relationship with my boyfriend, is that, like, he trusts me. Like, I'll tell him and I'll be like, well, this happened, and he was like, well, what were your intentions? Like, were your intentions bad? And I'd be like, no. And he'd be like, okay, well, then it's fine. I don't see a problem.
And is this bad? Okay, honestly, at the end of the day, if somebody
here we go.
If somebody complimented the person that I was dating, I would be like, oh, so thanks.
Yeah, I know.
Because they're mine, you know? Like, I'm the person dating them. Like, obviously, you know, if they didn't want to be with me, they wouldn't. So I'm gonna have that full trust in them, and I'm gonna be like, well, thanks. That's like a compliment to the both of us because I know how to pick well, you know? Sorry. Sorry.
Is that toxic? I don't think so.
That's not toxic.
I think that's pretty like, yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I trust you.
Right.
You know? Now, if I was being like, oh, well, he's my boyfriend, or, oh, she's my girlfriend, or whatever, then yeah, that's, yeah.
But can you imagine, like,
Yeah.
can you imagine you compliment someone's shoes and you're like, hey, I
I
like
have
your
a girlfriend.
shoes.
I have a boyfriend.
And they just start attacking with that. I'd be like, okay, well.
I'd be like, oh, sorry, I just wanted to know where you got your
those.
shoes.
Exactly. So I don't think I would ever talk to anyone after again.
No,
like,
I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh, okay.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, okay, also, this is going back to the single. Sorry, guys, this episode's kind of a mess. We have a layout, but when do we ever stick to it?
Right.
Going back to the single part, if somebody asks you out, you know, be nice about it. Now, I will say, I am not the best with this, okay? I do freak out a little bit. But just be as nice as you can, because, you know, they took that confidence to come up to you and ask you out, okay?
Are you remembering what? Yes, okay. I do.
So, funny story, guys. I was sitting in a coffee shop alone, and this guy, like, kept coming up to me asking me for, like, a charger, or, like, certain kinds of, or, like, I don't even know. He was just asking me random stuff, and so I was kind of weirded out. And then he came up to me and asked me for my number, and I did probably the worst thing possible. I was like, oh, sorry, I'm a minor. I was not a minor at the time. And I was only 18, so I really wasn't that far off.
You were on the
I was on the, yeah.
On the cut.
So, but, you know, I'm still nice about it, but I was like, oh, thank you so much for the compliment, but I'm actually a minor, like, or I think I said, oh, I'm 17, but thank you so much for the compliment.
Right.
Like, I was still nice about it. But I wouldn't necessarily pull that in unless you feel creeped out. And I did. Granted, he was very nice about it. He apologized. And he was like, oh, my bad, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's fine.
Did you tell he was nervous? Like,
yeah. I felt bad, but I literally stayed in that Starbucks for like an hour after because I was terrified. Like, he had left right after he asked me. But I stayed in there for like an hour because I was terrified I was going to get like trafficked or something. I'm very paranoid.
She is very paranoid.
Okay, that's off topic. That's off topic. Yeah. But yes, so I mean, just be nice about it if somebody comes up to ask you, because you would want that same level of respect. Mm-hmm. If somebody pulled the minor card on me, I probably would be mortified, so don't do what I did. But learn from my mistakes. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun little story.
Yeah, so I bet you didn't realize you were going to get that. See, sometimes we're fun.
we can make this fun.
Yeah. Is there anything else you have to add?
No, honestly.
Alright, guys. Well, you made it through episode.
I will say, shoot your shot. If you see someone, though.
Yeah.
If you see someone, you're kind of like, you know what? Like, that could probably work. It wouldn't hurt to shoot your shot.
That's something I wish I did more. I'm a very confident person, but I will not do that. Like, if I like somebody, they're never gonna know.
I can't even begin with my sister. Like, she'll have a crush on this dude. And she'll have a crush on him for like...
Poor her, she's gonna listen to this. She's like, I'm just exposing me.
I'm so sorry if you meet Milana. I don't mean to at you like this, but she had a crush on this dude, right? And like, she just really liked him. She like could not talk to him. She was like, she'd be like, yeah, he's pretty cool, you know. And like, we'd see him at the football game because his school would go against our school. So she would see him at the football games, and she'd be like, Deja, today's the day I'm gonna ask him.
You could be really exposing her right now. No,
she never did. No. She never did, and she regrets it.
I liked somebody for like, I think 4 years straight, and I never told them. Never will. So, yeah, just take your shot.
But every shot you don't take is one that you're
exactly
100% guaranteed
failure. Yeah, exactly. So just take it. And
you never know.
Also, if you're never going to see them again, you're never going to see them again. So just get over it. Just do it.
Just go for it.
I say that as I will never do it. But, like I said, learn from me. Learn from my mistakes.
I think that's it. To be honest, do you have anything else?
Yeah, no, I'm good. With that being said, thank you so much for listening to our second episode. If you are watching this on YouTube, we are also on Spotify. If you are watching this on Spotify, we are also on YouTube. And then you can follow our TikTok and our Instagram. Our Instagram is _elegance_exchange.
And it's the exact same way for TikTok as well.
Yes, we made it nice and easy for you. So thank you guys so much for listening. I know this was a little unhinged, but You know, let us know if you like the unhinged version or if you like the more like structured version.
More down to earth, more organized.
Because we can do a mix, or we can just, you know, shut up and like actually give you the points. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bye, babes.
Bye, guys.